So today's video is going to be a guinea pig shed tour, so hopefully you would have seen the new cages by now, and if you haven't, please click the screen now or follow the link in the description bar to go ahead and go and see those, because I've done in detail cage tours of their brand new cages. But today, although you will see the cages, I am going to do a in detail tour of the guinea pig shed. So I'll start off on the outside. So here's the front door. Just above the front door, I don't think I've shown it before, but we actually fitted one of these lights, and it's one of those lights that goes off when it with a sensor, so when you're kind of there it'll go off. So it's just really handy when I'm cleaning them out and things, or come into it and lock the door if it's dark. Then we've got their door, and on the door I've just got a little beware of the guinea pig sign. Down here we've got, my shadow is kind of in the way, it's a really sunny day today. I've got this for my padlock, and I don't really padlock the shed only when it's bad weather or windy, and it's been really windy lately, so I have been using the padlock. You also have a bolt, and I also lock the little key if it is windy and it's been awful, so I've been using that quite a lot too. And then down here I also have a little weight that I use to keep the door open or to keep the door closed if I'm a bit worried about wind or anything. And then if we just go ahead and open that, on the back of the door I have a couple of signs. I've got this Home Sweet Home sign, a old Beware of the Guinea Pig sign that's faded, and a Lucky Horseshoe. I also have this hook that just keeps the gate open, and here's the new mesh door. That's what that looks like, and this is actually made from the front of the old hutches, and they just fit perfectly in the middle to make a nice front door for them. So I'll go ahead and open that. So that's what that looks like, and then here's what the shed looks like. So here's what it looks like from the inside, and I absolutely love having a mesh door. It's really good, and it's so good that we managed to recycle the mesh from the doors of the cages. Some of it did get a bit ruined, so it's not all of the mesh, but we saved most of it, and the wood around the frames too, which is really good. So it's really nice being able to just open the door and let so much fresh air in for the guinea pigs. So I've been doing that a lot lately, not so much since it was windy, but today's been really sunny, so I've been leaving it open. So I'm so happy with that, and it's probably one of my favourite features of the new shed. So seeing as I've shown you the door already, I'll start this end and move along this side. So I also thought I'd show you the little hole in the door that's just there so if the handle comes through, so I can open and close the door really easily, and also so it closes neatly. So next to the door I just have a brush just to sweep up and things, and I now keep all three runs in the shed. So I've got 1, 2 and 3, and it just keeps them really organised to hang them up. So I've got 2 hanging from the roof and 1 hanging from the wall, and it's just more organised, and it means I can keep all 3 in here without it being cluttered. And they're also really easy to access, so I can pretty much grab one and throw it outside, and you know, really easily put them away too, which is really nice. So next to that I have a little stool, and that's just if I want to sit with the guinea pigs and interact with them and give them treats and cuddles. Then next to that I've got my pin board that you've all seen before, but it's now moved to this end, and this has just got leaflets, a whiteboard, my little card off Cody, and different things like that, and my calendar of course, got a little dog on it. And then hanging off that I've got my stool, and this is just so it's easier for me to kind of get to the shelves that I'll show you in a second, or if I need it for cleaning out. Then next to that I've got my plug sockets that have kind of Ellie's things really in them, and it's also handy if I want to hoover in here. And I have this little night light that I got from Poundland, and it just goes off with a sensor, so that's really nice. And then underneath this area we've got Bailey's cage, so this is what this looks like, and again if you haven't seen the cage tours it would probably be useful to go ahead and check those out. So a lot of my storage is now underneath Bailey's cage, so I'll go ahead and show you those. So this is what it currently looks like. I just keep under here hay, there are 3 wooden houses, a box of toys and a box of kind of summer things. So I'll pull them out and I'll show you what's kind of in the boxes, not in detail, but I'll show you them quickly, and I'll probably do kind of a guinea pigs toys video and things like that. And I just keep them on these polka dot mats that I had when they had their old hutches, and I kept those on top of the hutches, but I've just put them down here just to keep them on because I think it looks quite neat. So I'll pull everything out and show you what's in the boxes. So in this box I've got their hay, and I actually usually just close one lid because I like to give the hay some air and for it to breathe and things, but I just haven't got much hay in here at the moment. I need to okay, I'll give you some treats in a minute, little Bailey, but I need to refill this box, so for now I'll just put their pack of Timothy hay in, and also a pack of ready grass just to keep them tidy. They all think they're getting treats at the moment. So that's what's in that box. So this is their toy box, and it's absolutely full. I have lots of different toys, so jingly toys. They're mostly kind of plastic toys because most of their natural toys are actually in their cages at the moment, but I also keep their hay managers in here because there's a lot of room in this box, and their little treat dispensing toys that I didn't used to keep with the toys, but now I can because I've got a big box. Got Christmas toys in here too, and I actually got these from Poundland. They're actually new out, and they're like miniatures of these ones, and they come in a pack of 4 for £1, which is really good. And they come in pink and blue so far. I haven't seen any other colours yet, but just a selection of different toys that you would have seen before. Most of them I've had since I first had Pippin and Marley, so a few old ones in here, but that's their toy box. And I like to have a lot of plastic ones for the summer because they don't get wrecked if they get into wet or anything. Sorry, I'm distracted by Bailey popcorning above me here, but yeah, I like to have plastic toys because they keep clean if they get into wet or anything in the summer. They especially like to throw toys into their bowls in the summer for some reason, so it makes sure that natural toys aren't damaged. So I usually use natural toys in their cages and then plastic toys in their runs. And then finally in this tub I just keep their summer things and spare things. So I kept one of these hay racks just for a spare, and I thought if I ever needed it, if I was bonding guinea pigs and needed a little spare hay rack, that would be perfect. I have these that I would use in their travel cages, things like that, a poppet tunnel, some fleeces and towels. I've also got one of those cooling tiles for the summer, and then these are just their sunshades that I made for their runs. And so that's basically like their summer box because it's kind of summer themed things apart from the fleeces. And you know, I only use the towels in the summer too because I only bath them once or twice a year, and it's always when it's a nice warm sunny day. Then I also keep their wooden houses in here just so they're out the way. I did use these in their cages when they first went into them, but I've just taken them out because I like to change it about every now and then. So the back one I actually purchased from Pets at Home. Then this one here my dad made for me, and he also made this one here, and this one's actually my favourite one because I think it looks like a little barn, and I think it's that's everything that I keep under there. And although it looks a lot, it's so much less than what I had in the original shed because I just cluttered and kept things everywhere because there was so much storage. I pretty much filled it as much as I could, so it's a lot more organised than it was. I also have a pack of hay just there that I need to fill that hay box with. So I might as well show you the rest of the kind of underneath. So on here, this is Ellie's bedroom area under here, but it's got her plug sockets and things there. But I just keep things on it. So I recently, or it's a while ago now, managed to finally wean the guinea pigs off their wag mix. So when I first got them, they were all on wag mix, and originally Marley and Pippin were together, they're brothers, and I'd near enough weaned them off it, because if you don't own guinea pigs or small pets like guinea pigs, then when you're weaning them off food you have to do it really slowly. You can't just change their food because it'll give them an upset tummy. So I'd finally managed to do it. Then they wouldn't live together anymore basically. If you've followed me for a while you'll know the story. They just did not get along. They were fighting to the death, and I had to split them up. So that was fine. And then I got Casper to go with Marley. Casper was on a mix like WAG, and so basically I had to wean Casper, and that meant that obviously he lived with Marley by then, so I had to wean him, and Marley was starting to eat the WAG food again, so it was like starting the weaning process all over again. And then the same thing happened with Pippin and Bailey with the WAG food again, so it took quite a long time. And then of course they were pretty much weaned off, but Pippin was the most annoying pig to wean off food. He just ignored the pellets and it was really difficult with him. But about a month or two ago I finally managed to get them all off their food. It'll just be really annoying if I adopt again and they're on a kind of food like WAG again, because it's just starting the process again. But at least Marley and Casper are definitely on the pellet food now. But basically I have so much spare food, I don't know what to do with it. I don't want to give it away because I think guinea pigs should be on pellet food. Some people do have mixed reviews. I know that most people do believe they should be on pellet food, and there's a lot of research and evidence to prove that they should be, but I do know there's a few people that still do like to keep them on food like WAG. But I have so much spare food, and here's a tub of it. I don't really know what to do with it. I did debate using it as treats, but I don't want to get them on the food again, so I don't know whether to or not. But I guess I could keep it for when I'm adopting a guinea pig again, and most likely they will be on food like this because rescues and things take the cheapest food and they take a lot of donations, and people buy bulks of food like this for them, so it's the easiest thing for them to keep the guinea pigs nice and healthy and eating. So most likely when I do rescue one again, they will be on food like this, so I guess it's worth keeping. So anyway, that was a long story about that, but a lot of people always do ask, especially people who watch older videos and see me giving them food, they do ask about it, so hopefully that's answered some questions too. But anyway, that's what's on that section. Then we just have the rest of Ellie's cage, and something I really like now is that it doesn't pop out, because before it came out quite a bit, but now it doesn't. I think it looks neater that it's underneath the guinea pig cages. Then just underneath Ellie's cage I keep a couple of plastic igloos. So this one actually has a Hoover piece in it. I lost this yesterday, so I wondered where it'd gone. And this is one of those jingly balls again from Poundland. But this is just their Pigloo from Pets at Home. And then I've got one of these really cute ones and this big green one. And I actually purchased this from a seller on Amazon, and they do have a website called Super Pet, and please do not go near them because I purchased this. It was described as being new. It was quite expensive, but I wanted a see-through kind of house for them that was big enough for Casper and Marley, so I thought it was pretty much perfect. So I paid quite a lot of money for this new house. It arrived and wasn't new. It was covered in scratches, dust, there was no labels on it, nothing that even remotely saw it as being new, if that makes any sense. And there was also maggots living in the bottom of the hut, so they'd all stuck to the bottom of the hut. It was really disgusting, and I pretty much complained straight away, and their customer service wasn't that great. It took me a while to get a response from them, and by the time I did, their excuse was that they'd already answered me, which I knew they hadn't. So I did get part refund back for this, but it was just, even though I scrubbed it out and I can still use it, it's just disappointing when you get something that's old and it's described as being new, especially when you pay a lot for it, and then for it to arrive with maggots. I wouldn't have dreamed of giving it to them straight away. It's been disinfected for ages and they've only just had it. But I just wanted to point that out in case people go looking for these in the UK and stumble across Super Pet and want to buy it. So please do, if you're looking for one of these, purchase from someone, a seller off eBay. Just stay away from Super Pet. So anyway, that's the story about that. And then I also have this dog basket, and this one's actually Pippin's that he hasn't got in his cage at the moment. And then I just keep all those underneath Ellie's cage, just to keep them out of the way. And above Ellie's cage I do also have my pull-out desk that I keep my chopping board on, and I make veggies on here, as well as sometimes film hauls and things on this desk. And then right at the end of Ellie's cage, so I'm right at the beginning now, and I'll show you the kind of top section in a second, I keep a small bin and my 2 drawers, and in the drawers I just keep their treats. So I've only got 4 boxes of treats, but 2 boxes have 2 sections. And I've got this jar of treats too. I've got spare bowls, and these bowls are also, some of them would be spare for Ellie, and I like to keep a few because when they go on the runs it's easier to have spare bowls, and also I'm clumsy and like to smash things, so it's always good to have spare bowls. I also keep their first aid things there too, and some more first aid things and spare cutlery and things to cut veggies. And then in the top drawer I've got food and things. So this is their main food. This is the Pets at Home pellets, and that's what they look like just there. And I've just got some of this forage here, and it's just pretty much because I don't have anywhere to keep them at the moment. I've got some of the Vitacraft nibble rings, that's a new box, and then in this tub I keep some of the Burgess XL food, and that's basically a treat food for them. I only put that in every now and then, it's just a little treat. And then I've got some of these things. I've got a video on these from last year about growing veggies and things, so I'm going to do that again this year. I've just got them ready. And in this drawer, in this box, I keep forage, and then I also have some of the Fibre First little sticks that I use as treats too, and that's kind of their, I guess it's kind of like their main food area, because I most likely will give them forage or the Burgess XL or Fibre First as treats rather than their actual treats. They rarely ever get proper treats, but that's their kind of main food drawer. So now I'll kind of show you everything that's above. So here's Pippin's cage. That's what that looks like, and you can see it more clearly in the cage tour. And above his cage, so this is right next to the door, I have 2 shelves. On this first one I keep a radio, and there is a tortoise book there, but I was going to originally keep some books on there, but I'm not sure yet. But at the moment I've just got a radio there. Above it I've got some of the pondfish food, some paper roll, and some of the Woodlands Twiggy treats that I haven't opened yet. Here I've got a padlock, and I also keep my other padlock there too. I've got their grooming things hanging up, so a couple of brushes, scissors and nail clippers. I've got some Wilkinson's Hutch and Cage disinfectant, a spare hay rack, a wooden one, which is great for these cages if I want to use it because it just stands up, and I think it's really pretty too, nice and natural looking. I've got this really cute Welcome to Our Nest sign, which I just thought was super cute and perfect to hang up above the cages. So now here's Molly and Casper's cage, and their cage is a bit of a mess at the moment. They've been having a party, I think. Here's Casper. And then I don't actually hang anything up yet above their cage because I don't have enough things because I decluttered. But I have got a measuring thing there. And this is Ellie's shell. So I've got her food bowl, this natural looking bowl I use in the summer for water. So kind of when she's out on the grass and things, I use that for water. I also have some calcium dust and tortoise food, which I never use, but I was recommended on having them in case of emergencies, and I needed to use them, so I've had those for a while and they're completely unopened. But it's always good to have things, you know, just in case. And I've also got a water bottle behind there that I just use. I fill that up and then fill the bowl up because the amount of the water in the water bottle, hey Mr. Noisy, the amount in the water bottle fits perfectly into her bowl in her enclosure, so I use that to kind of move the water into a cage rather than dragging the bowl out all the time. And then I do have a spare cuttlefish bone there too. And then above that I just have a guinea pig carrier. I purchased that to use, it will be in a haul at some point, but I purchased it to use for when I rescue guinea pigs again, and it's also becoming really handy for when I'm cleaning out the cages, and I've been putting them in this just so they're out the way. Obviously it'll be easier in the summer because they'll be in their runs when I clean them out, but it's just been super handy because it's been quite bad weather lately, so they've been going in this while I clean them. I also have a lint roller, and I use this if I'm handling them and they're molting quite a bit so I can get the hairs off my clothes. And then I do have a dustpan and brush here, which comes in extremely handy, I'm sure you can imagine. And I'm back at the pinboard now, and that's kind of what that looks like. And these little shelves have been really handy, because I think it's nice to have little shelves, because it's nice to display the storage too, as well as, instead of just having drawers, it's nice to have storage on display. And I really like the fact that Ellie's got her own shelf, because that's pretty much all of her supplies apart from, you know, bedding and things. But yeah, so that's what I have my lights above the shed on the roof, and I just thought I'd show you those because I never do. And isn't it nice to see the nice blue sky through the roof? And Pippin's running about because he's excited. It's nice that the guinea pigs are getting this all the time now, because they haven't got any roof on their cages, so that's really pretty and feels like they're outside and free. So that's my shed tour for February 2014, and it's the first shed tour with the cages looking like this, and the shed with all the changes. And I hope you guys have enjoyed seeing it. I'm so happy with the cages now and the shed. It looks so organised and clean now, and you can really see how big it is now, because it was hard to see the size of it before because the touches just took up an unnecessary amount of space, and you can really see now because it just feels open all the time, and it just feels so nice in here and homey, and I think it looks a lot nicer too. So I hope you enjoyed seeing the shed tour, and thank you so much for watching and always following me and commenting and everything, and I'll speak to you all next time. Bye everyone.